Today we've got big news about the Rupture strain. The developers have confirmed they're temporarily removing it. We also have news about the storyline and how the narrative team actually, writes it all out. Plus, there's a lot more to discuss. If you've enjoyed the content in the past, please support the channel by tapping the thumbs up button below the video. I'd greatly appreciate it. With that said, let's jump right in. We're going to start the video by going over a recent announcement that Arrowhead's community manager Baskinator made. She posted this on the official Helldivers Discord, where she essentially wrote in this post that the patch they dropped yesterday made some changes to the Rupture strain that caused them to function in a way they didn't intend. They're going to remove the Rupture strain at 6 p.m. today, which is 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and 12 p.m. Eastern, so by now it's been removed. She went on to say that no other units will be affected. The reason for the temporary removal is to improve the Rupture strain, and it'll return in 5 weeks. So essentially, if you think about it, the Rupture strain has a 5-week plan for improvements in some capacity. Now sure, 5 weeks is quite a long time to adjust the Rupture strain, and I'm sure some of you are thinking that's a lengthy period to change some aspects of the Rupture strain. In my opinion, I believe they'll not only improve the Rupture strain, but also resolve a ton of bugs in the process, because 5 weeks gives them enough time to not only address the Rupture strain issues, but also tackle other in-game issues and bugs, while possibly improving performance as well. All in all, I think this is an amazing way to approach it, and I hope it hasn't delayed any exciting major orders in the future. But to be fair, I think it might have, considering the Rupture strain is tied to the Gloom. Anywho, I'd like to know your thoughts on this. Do you think it was the right call to temporarily remove them, or do you think they should have kept them and released a patch the following week? Drop your response below the video and tell me what you think. Continuing along, we have a few more discussions from Arrowhead's community manager Baskinator. There was a question earlier about whether they're going to upgrade the DSS, aka the Democracy Space Station, with more passives. In response, the community manager wrote back to say that they have plans for the DSS, so yeah, that's great to hear, because I thought they were going to leave the DSS on the shelf to collect dust, but it turns out they have plans to update it. I can't wait for that day to come, and hopefully we'll receive ship upgrades as well at some point down the road. Personally, I'm looking forward to them giving us unique stratagems that can be only used when the DSS is active on a planet. I think that would be a huge game changer, and it would make it worth activating a particular DSS tactical action. Anywho, besides that conversation, the second conversation isn't really newsworthy, yet I thought it was kind of cool. We can see a picture here that Baskinator uploaded. It's a forklift certification for a Helldiver on the right side. And if we zoom in, it's actually Arrowhead's Chief Creative Officer Pilestedt's certification, which is funny and cool that he has his very own Helldivers forklift certification. So that is just, again, awesome to know about. With that said, let's now get back to some newsworthy stuff. We can see a Helldiver here asking the community manager about the week-long major orders that have been given to us as of late in Helldivers 2. This Helldiver wanted to know, do they give such a long major order so that the storyline writers can have more room to breathe and give us a better in-depth story? Or is it so the developers can figure out glitches and patches? Baskinator replied to this Helldiver and wrote, "It's a different way to structure them that allows us to create more layered MOs with a lot of objectives and moving parts, which provides, in my opinion, a greater challenge for players, and also a greater sense of accomplishment when you win one. It does help give the narrative team, the folks who write all the briefs and text for the entire game, more of a chance to plan and structure events in the game as well. It's good for everyone." As you can tell, she has confirmed that the week-long major orders are indeed designed to give the narrative team more time to plan things out. This totally makes sense to me, given how quickly we all complete major orders. The recent major order we have now can only be completed once every box is checked and the time is up. Since we're talking about it, I personally would love to see unique major orders that have us do something different other than going to a planet and liberating, defend, or even hold it, right? I'd like to see a major order that introduces a new mission, maybe a new stratagem, or just something entirely different instead of liberating and holding planets. It seems to be something we always do. And to be fair, it makes sense since we have to take over sectors and stop the automatons, terminates, and even the Illuminate from advancing towards Super Earth or other sectors. Anyway, we have a third question that's quite similar in terms of storyline. This player here asks if there's a massive storyline in development or if it's made up on the go as things develop. The community manager Basconeer wrote back to say, there's a storyline and many branches or threads within that line, and the narrative and metagame folks have to be ready to turn on a dime when an outcome changes. When players surprises, etc., the GW, which is Galactic War, evolves as we go and we plan, but we have to be flexible at the same time. Wow, so that's interesting. The storyline can go either way, right? They have different paths for us to go down, and things can change instantly if we complete or fail a major order. For example, when we were fighting the Illuminate on Super, there was a possibility of us either winning or failing. I believe there was a leaked from Coretta Kelly's video that went around during that time that actually showed a failure news video where the Illuminate took over. I also believe that on the Democracy Space Station at one point, there were several voting options for different Super Earths. Though I'm not too sure if that was a bug or not, or if it's still there. Either way, there was for sure a chance for us to fail or win. Moving along, we've got an updated known issue list from Arrowhead. If you head over to Arrowhead's Zendesk support site, they've got a list right here underneath the new. On the first line, they wrote, extraction shuttle or beacon may clip in terrain, preventing extraction. And on the second line, it says, the nuke nursery drill can be dropped on top of the cave by the ship, becoming inaccessible. It seems they're fully aware of that bug, and perhaps that'll be the one they'll resolve either next week or possibly in 5 weeks when the Rupture strain returns. Overall, those are all the new known issues, and by the way, this list doesn't include all the known issues they're aware of. It only covers important ones or bug reports they see frequently. For example, there's an entire list of issues below, such as a bug with Super Destroyer names, scopes with the incorrect field of view, and a bug with the STA-11 SMG that's been around for a while. So they're aware of several in-game bugs and issues. However, it seems it's taken a long time to resolve most of them. The most important bug, in my opinion, and I've mentioned it in the past, is an XP modifier bug with higher difficulty missions that doesn't award the proper XP, and it still hasn't been resolved. If there are any bugs not listed here that you feel are important for others to know about, feel free to leave a comment below and let us know. On a different note, this one is for you Xbox divers out there because, of course, you're going to be playing with PC players and PlayStation players and whatnot. So yeah, if you come across a hacker or someone that's modified the files to some extent, and you've, I don't know, joined their lobby and you've got like a ton of XP, a ton of super credits and whatnot, and you feel guilty about it, just know you're not going to receive a ban. We can see right here, B Vitamin confirmed that. She also confirmed that if you have received a ton of XP, a ton of super credits, whatever the case may be, you can submit a support ticket and they'll remove it. That's if you feel guilty about it and whatnot. So yeah, that's great to know because I'm not sure if you Xbox divers have came across a hacker yet, or again, someone that modifies the files, then yeah, you know, you can get it removed. Lastly, for today's video, I'd like to bring up a few discussions about the Rupture strain. Some Helldivers seem unhappy that the developers have decided to remove the content. For instance, one Helldiver wrote on the Helldivers subreddit page saying, "Really?" And another one was upset that some of us managed to get the content removed while others were having a fun time facing the new Rupture strain. So it seems that there's a lot of players who were perfectly fine with it, while the other half were just not excited about the changes made to it. For me, I think it was necessary considering the number of complaints and how many players were unhappy with how the Rupture strains worked. And I think at this point, it was better for Arrowhead to cater to the majority of fans than a small minority. At least that's how I think they were looking at the situation. But overall, it seems like you can't make anybody happy, right? It's like, it's damn if you do or damn if you don't. And man, it is pretty sad to see this. I mean, just the overall complaints about both sides. At some point, they had to make some changes to satisfy the large majority of players. Again, I don't know. If you have any thoughts about this, let me know. Do you think it was justified or not by posting a comment below? On a different note, I just want to let you guys know that I'm hosting another Xbox key giveaway for Helldivers 2. All you have to do to enter is by commenting below, tell me why you want it, and also, here's the winner from the previous giveaway. Shout out to you. Also, there are no top 3 comments today. I'll be posting those in the next video. There will be top 6 comments. So if you'd like to be featured, comment below, and the ones with the top comments will be showcased. With everything being said, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, consider tapping the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and all that great stuff. I appreciate you stopping by, whether you're a subscriber, a member, or even a lurker. I just appreciate you coming by to check out the channel. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.